the structure of math language. Galileo says the universe is written in the language of mathematics. In another word, math is the language. This is what Galileo believed. It is a language to describe the world and make complicated things easier. To be honest, I learned this fact after my graduation. If I could learn this before my graduation, I believe my attitude about learning math would be different. And more likely, I think I may have much stronger motivations to learn more math in school. I will explain how I realize this in this video. Before we discuss about the mathematical language or the math language, I want to start from a human language. Let's say English. Okay? I write a very simple, basic sentence in English. For example, I love you. There are three parts constitute this sentence. Okay? I love and you. And we call this part subject. And the second part predicate. And the third part object. Okay, those three parts constitute this sentence. And we can also give it a different name. Make it simple. Just part 1, part 2, and part 3. We cannot see all the English sentences like this, but this is the basic structure of a sentence. So the mathematical language, like the same thing, it also has three parts: 1, 2, and 3. Now, I gave it 3 names to represent those 3 parts. Part 1, we call it translate. And part 2, we call it make it shorter. Part 3, we call it answer. In this part, we found the answer. That's it. Let's dive into a very specific example. Then you can see what I mean. This is a very simple elementary school level math problem. Okay, so let's read the problem. Alan, Bill, and Charlie have 143 books altogether, and Alan has 35 books. Charlie has twice as many as Bill. How many books does Charlie have? Now, just like what we saw in the last page, the mathematical language constitutes of 3 sections or 3 parts: translate, make it shorter, and find the answer. Let's just follow the steps and see how we use the mathematical language or math language to resolve it. Okay, I use a different color to highlight what I write. Okay, Alan, Bill, and Charlie have 143 books. This is the first sentence. How do we translate it? Now, we can use A to represent Alan, and B to represent Bill, and C to represent Charlie. We just want to make things shorter, right? Make it easier. Now, this is the first sentence. We can translate to A plus B plus C equals what? 143. Done. This is our translation for the first sentence. Now let's keep moving, keep going to the second sentence. Alan had 35 books. That means A equals 35. Done. That's our translation to the second sentence. Keep moving. Now let's move to the third sentence. Charlie has twice as many as Bill. How to translate this? Okay, it's a relationship. It means C equals twice as many as. Twice as many means 2 times of B. Done. Okay, then the last sentence is about question. We don't need to translate this sentence. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Our translation part is done. Now, we move to the second part, make it shorter. How to do that? We know that from the second sentence, A equals 35. Alan has 35 books, right? We can use 35 to replace the A. Now, the first sentence would turn into what? 35 plus B plus C equals 143. Now we make it, a little easier, right? But we still have two variables in the first equation, or whatever you call it. But can we make it a little easier? Yes, we can, because we know from the third sentence said that, C equals 2 times of B, twice as Bill. Okay, so we can use this to replace this, right? 35, just a copy. B plus B, nothing changed. Now this part we need to change. C equals 2 times of B, right? Yes. 2 times of B equals 143, just a copy. Now, 35 plus B plus 2 times of B equals 143. Can we make it shorter? Yes, we can. Okay, B plus 2B equals what? Just like one thing plus two things, same things. How many things do you have? 3, right? Now, 35 plus B plus 2B equals 3B equals 143. Now, let's treat the 3B as a whole thing. We don't need to figure out how, to separate it. We just treat it as one thing, okay? Now, I want to ask you, 3B equals what? Because 35 plus 3B equals this thing. 3B equals what? 3B equals 143 minus 35 equals 108. Now, if 3 times of B equals 108, so what's the value of B? B equals what? 108. Remember, 3 B's equals 108. Then how about the value of 1B? Okay, 108 divided by 3 equals 36. Good. Now we get the value of B. The question asks for what? The question asks how many books does Charlie have, right? The question asks for C. Okay, we already have B, and we know that C equals 2 times of B, right? We just make copy from here. Okay, now B equals what? We already have the result. B equals 38. Now 2 times of B equals what? 72. This is the result. And we call this part the answer. Done. Okay, now let me zoom out. Let me change the color to red. Okay, this part is translate, and this part we make it shorter, and this part we find the answer. Okay, those 3 parts all together, we call it math solution. Got it? All right. I want to use this sentence to end today's video, because every time when I realize I'm learning the math very, very hard, in a very, very hard way, that usually means I misunderstand the meaning of math, because the math is a tool to help us make things easier, not harder. Don't be terrified by learning math. Keep learning. I will see you in next video.